it's Tracy again. Welcome back to our series on the Fool card. Today we are going to be talking about Uranus and how it represents the Fool card. And I gotta be honest, Uranus is my favorite planet, or one of my favorite planets. It rules my sun sign, which is Aquarius, if you are not familiar, in modern day rulership. And my natal Uranus also squares my sun in Aquarius. So I get lots of Uranus energy. I like change, and the Uranus transits affect me immensely. If something is going to change in my life, it's going to change. Uranus is going to make sure I'm aware of it and go with it, and that's fine. I am one of the few people on this planet that loves change. I want something to constantly change in my life. I get bored with the mundane, all that Sagittarius energy that I've got also in my chart combined with the Uranus. It just likes change. So big fan of this planet. And if you're not familiar with Uranus, it did just go into Gemini, and it's going to retrograde back into Taurus and then go back into Gemini for about a 7-year stint next year. So I will be covering that as well, because that's pretty important, and it's moving in different areas of different people's chart. But again, tying it back to the Fool card, the Fool is ready to go on a new adventure. He's ready for change. That's where Uranus comes in. Uranus is like, let's go, baby. I want to be free. I want to do things my way. I want to rebel against society. I want to revolutionize everything. It wants what's next. It does not like to conform. It's not its deal. So Uranus in our chart natally shows us the area that we are going to be a little bit more rebellious in. So if it's in your first house of self, and say it's conjunct your ascendant, Uranus is going to come into themes. You might be a little quirkier. That's Uranus. You're not going to fit in just to fit in. You're going to be a little bit more eccentric and stand out. Second house, it will be tied to your worth. Your worth is going to be tied a little bit more to Uranus themes, especially depending on, the other placements. So not going too heavy in it. So it just affects it differently. So as Uranus in our chart, like I said, natally, it does affect different areas of how it fits and where it's connected, what is conjunct or opposing, different things like that. But Uranus transits as it moves through each house. You've got about a 7 or so year period that it moves through each house, and that will be or do each sign, and it's a different house in your chart. So again, like I said, Uranus and I are big friends. It pretty much rules a lot of my life as I go through this incarnation, and makes things happen for me. When I progress midheaven, which is your public identity, people who don't know you when they first see you, or how you're known out in the world. When I progressed midheaven, hit my natal Uranus, that's when I finally decided to leave my marriage. We'd gone back and forth for a while. It was karmic. Good Lord, me and that man have been together many lifetimes. But that's a whole nother story. When it was in my 4th house is when we got married, which is home and family. When it moved into my 5th house, I had all 3 of my kids. My oldest was a surprise adoption. That's a whole nother story, but that is pure Uranus. I mean, it was an email, it's a whole thing. It was unexpected, it was a new beginning. And then it moved into my 6th house, which is more Virgo energy, the house of service, the mundane, everyday, the details. It also rules health. So when it hit my Chiron, which is the wounded healer, the wounded that we come in with to help others, that's when I got diagnosed with BRCA and had my subsequent hysterectomy and mastectomy. So like I said, Uranus makes itself known in my life. It just moved into my 7th house. I am a Sag rising. Moved into, and I use whole signs for the transits. And so it just moved into my 7th house of relationships, and will at some point, I was getting ready to soon be opposing my moon, and then will eventually be opposing my ascendant and Neptune, which are conjunct. So I'm expecting to meet some people. I don't know for what. I have an idea, but I'm expecting some things to come. So it's going to be fun. And in true Uranus fashion, Uranus was discovered, again, it's a revolutionary energy. It was discovered during a revolutionary time, in between the American Revolution and the French Revolution. So the idea is out there that we discover these planets when our consciousness rises enough for us to see them. Because, you know, I don't really look at the stars. I've studied them stars, but I don't look at them and their placements. But, you know, before, most people could not see Uranus. They didn't know. It wasn't discovered. I mean, you can see it now. So it's when we're ready for things, that's when they appear. So it kind of came in with a revolutionary energy. You know, Americans wanted freedom from England and without taxation representation. Same, you know, French Revolution, they wanted to revolutionize things too. So it shakes things up. And it also deals with technology, which is Aquarius. So it's going to be interesting. And again, I'll hold another video on this as it moves into Gemini, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Also, again, communication, deals with some technology, and it's going to be trining Aquarius, which Uranus modern day rules. So there should be more technology advancements, especially with Pluto in Aquarius now as well. We'll get to Pluto as well, but they're kind of helping feed that, and they're going to be going back and forth for the next several years trining. So we should see a lot more with AI and different things like that. So again, Uranus is fun. It's going to come in, and you may not have a prominent placement in your chart with Uranus. So you might not get hit as often in the same way I am when it moves through your chart. However, it will hit certain points in your chart, and when it hits those points, it's going to change things for you. It's going to say, no, we want you to shake this off. We want you to be in a new role and move forward. For example, the typical midlife crisis is when our natal Uranus opposes our transiting Uranus. So, you know, a lot of people get that itch. Well, what am I doing? I want something new. Do I want to leave my wife or husband or start this new job? It's all that individuation of Uranus, the rebelliousness, the what can we do to just blow up things and start anew and start fresh, come up to the surface. And if astrology can manifest as anything, right? So the energies can develop anyway. So it's learning to work with those energies as they move through. So it might not be a great idea to blow up your entire life when you have Uranus opposition, but it might be. So it's learning to recognize as these planets, and we're talking specifically Uranus, moves through, it's going to make you do something new. Like I said, when it was in my 4th house is when I got married. 5th house, I had 3 kids. There were some surprises with how it all happened there. And then 6th house with my BRCA diagnosis. It's going to shake up some things. It wants you to move forward, and it just really doesn't give a damn. It just wants you to shake off, clear out, and step into a new beginning. So again, I'm a little partial to it because with all my Sag energy, because I told you Jupiter rules Sag, it gives me some Jupiter themes as well. So it makes me think of that kind of freedom-loving, starting fresh. It just wants to trust that it's all going to work out and not conform. It doesn't want to be held back. It doesn't want to be part of the traditions. You know, Saturn is the modern day ruler of, Saturn is the traditional ruler of Aquarius, and it rules Capricorn, and it's very structured, it's very 3D. Uranus is trying to think outside the box and move beyond that. Okay, we've built this, so how do I find myself within these structures and these walls to truly know who I am? Because as we mentioned, part of Uranus is you're coming in to whatever scenario. I know with the Fool card we're talking about the incarnation, but whatever scenario you're going into, what are you taking with you that's you? Before all the baggage from the trauma, from life that's kind of gotten into you, it wants to strip all that away. Who are you to your core? Be that person. Go stepping in this new path, shine bright, have weird, wacky ideas, and go do it. It is not afraid to be a little wacky. It's electric. It's got the electric energy. And so Uranus is really just want to charge things up, spice it up. And so that's what it comes through and does. That's what it does in your chart. And again, you might have it in your chart where it's not heavily aspected, so it's not a big player in your chart. You might have more inner planets. I have very heavy outer planet dominant natal chart for myself personally, but other people might have more inner planets where they're doing that work in this lifetime. So Uranus might not be a big theme for you, but again, when it hits those points in your chart, you'll need to learn how to work with it. So it's fun if you're ready for change. And if you're not ready for change, it won't be fun. But I think it is a good, it's a good planet. I enjoy it. The only constant we have in our lives is that things are going to change. So at least have a fun planet that goes and makes it happen for you. It's maybe a little bit more work while it might be uncomfortable, but you'll be somewhere new and fun, trying to do something different. And that's all the journey is, right? It's just learning something different, taking a new step, and moving forward. So, which is the Fool. It all comes back to being ready to take that next step and go forward in life, and not knowing what's coming, because the journey is the best part. The journey is the only part. There's no destination, because as soon as we get there, we're ready for something else, right? We get to the top job, we get the husband or the wife or the kids. We don't stop growing and moving. We're just ready for something else. Ready, let's manifest this next. So the journey is the best part. So there's always going to be things that get thrown up in your journey, and that's what Uranus does. Uranus makes you be you and makes you step into a new role. So if you have questions on Uranus, if you want me to detail anything else, please feel free to respond and comment below. Please feel free to subscribe and like this video, and I look forward to bringing you, again, we'll have a video on meditation, doing Uranus and incorporating his wonderful energy as well. And we'll also do a yoga flow video that ties in the unexpected changes, coming alive, things like that. And then I will also be talking a little bit about Uranus in Gemini moving forward, what to kind of expect over the next 7 years, and how it might impact your chart from that point. So thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate you. Have a great day.